Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you feeling? This lovely Monday morning, June 16, 2025. We have a couple news to share. So that's why I'm just waiting for you to get in. Let me know in the comments. How are you? Good morning, Agnes. How are you? Good morning, Tom Wanda. How are you? Yeah, let me know in the comments. How are you? How are you feeling? Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up some news so we can discuss what's going on. Yeah, the first news is that this administration they're trying to add 36 countries on the travel ban list. Okay, travel ban. That's I guess the biggest news. Okay, we're gonna start with that. Then we're gonna move along to other possible news. Let me see the list of the countries. Yeah, the list is here. They're trying to add. Great. Okay. Nice to hear that. By the way, please share this live session because we have a lot of discussion. We're gonna go over a lot of things. First, we're gonna talk about the news. If you have questions, please put it in the comment section as I'm answering questions. Yeah, let me know in the comment if you have questions, concern, anything immigration related. Okay, let me know in the comment. But first of all, I want to share my screen here so we can talk about the first news. Okay. Okay, the Trump administration is planning, if you read here, Trump administration wait adding 36 countries to the travel ban. Okay, they are trying to add 36 countries to the travel ban. It says that the U.S. President Donald Trump administration is considering significantly expanding its travel restrictions by potentially banning citizens of 36 additional countries from entering the United States, according to an internal State Department cable seen by Reuters. Okay, they already signed a travel ban of like banning 12 countries, but now they're trying to add. Okay, so it says that the department has identified 36 countries of concern that might be recommended for full or partial suspension of entry if they do not meet established benchmarks and requirements within 60 days. The cable sent out over the weekend. Okay. What are those countries? Yeah, the list is here. The countries that could face a full or potential ban if they do not address this concern within 60 days are Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Bhutan, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, that's Ivory Coast, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Dominica, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tonga, Tuvalu. I don't even know this country, to be honest. Those two, never heard of those before. Uganda, Vanuatu, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Okay. First of all, those, and then that will be a significant expansion of the ban coming into effect earlier this month. The countries affected were the one that actually banned are Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Congo Republic, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Okay. And then we have the entry of people from 7 other countries: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, Venezuela has also been partially restricted. Yeah, so, and then talking about the previous ban, that's banned 7 Muslim majority nations. So that's the biggest news we have. Those are the countries, if this becomes effective, they're going to have a travel ban. So if a person is traveling on parole, advanced parole, they have to be aware of those type of issues. Okay, that's the reason we give those type of news, so that the person's traveling outside on parole has to be aware, because if the travel ban becomes effective, then the person will be most likely stay outside until the adjudication of the green card, which is gonna suck. So that's why the person has to be aware of what's going on. Okay, that's the first news. Okay, that's first of all, that's the first news. Let me take some questions, then we're gonna continue with the news. Okay. Um. Okay, it's now 4 months, still no decision. You can call them. You can just call them and find out what's going on. Because I don't think if you submit an inquiry, it's not really gonna let you through. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the inquiry, it says work permits almost like 12 months, depending on what service center. So you can just call them. Just give them a call and find out what's going on. So you probably discussed this already, but does it mean if you have a green card, they won't allow you to come back if you visited this country? I'm from Zambia. Okay. For the green card, it's a little bit tricky, because if you're lawful permanent resident and you went, let's say, on vacation and the travel ban came, depending on how you got your green card, you got a green card based on being a relative of a U.S. citizen, like let's say by marriage, that's an exception. You should be able to come back. Okay, that's one of those exceptions. I believe you should come back. You'll be able to come back, but you never know with this administration. But that's, if there's a travel ban, immediate relative of U.S. citizens are always an exception, even when the previous travel ban came around. Okay. So that's the biggest news we have. That's the travel ban. Okay. That's potentially it's gonna come up. We don't know yet. The rumor has it that they're thinking about it. Okay, we have that. Do you think Trump amnesty for people? What do you think about Trump amnesty for people? Okay, so this is the second news I wanna talk about. Second news. Okay, hold on. Let's just discuss the second news. Then we go back to your question. Let me talk about it. Hold on. Somewhere it was here. I had it somewhere. let's discuss it and then. Okay. Amnesty, Trump amnesty. Trump amnesty on farmers. Okay, we have it here. Let's talk about it. Thank you for all. You're welcome. Okay, so let's talk about it. The amnesty. Let me share my screen. Oh, I can't believe this computers, when it's time to do something, start acting up. But anyway, let me share the screen so we can talk about it, okay? Trump promises immigration order soon on farm and leisure workers. So what's going on is this, right? There was a meeting on June 12th where they were asking Trump because of, like, people who own farms and the people who have hotels and stuff like that. Everybody's concerned about this mass deportation, ICE raids everywhere, and it's hurting the economy, which we knew it's going to hurt the economy because most people are working, even though they don't have the document, they still have to work to support their families. But now, because of those ICE raids, people are afraid to go to work because they don't want to get arrested. Nobody want to be arrested and be placed in detention. Um, so now they're asking him, what are you going to do about it? Because nobody's trying to go to work and we're not going to have food. So now he's talking about he's going to um, give amnesties. So basically, work permits to farmers and other type of workers. Okay, Trump says farmers are hurt badly following immigration crackdown. Farms are heavily reliant on migrant labor. Hotel sector also to be addressed. No detail given on content timing of the order. Okay, the US President Donald Trump said he will issue an order soon. Okay, he's going to sign some type of executive order to address the effects of his immigration crackdown on country's farm and hotel industry, which rely heavily on migrant labor. Okay, our farmers are being hurt badly. That's what he said, and we're going to have to do something about that. We're going to have an order on that pretty soon. I think Trump said that to the White House. So basically, he wants to pretty much issue work permit to farmers and workers who work in hotels because some lobbyists went and talked about it because if you go to the supermarket, you find out that the pricing is it's like out of control because people are not going to work. They're afraid of those ICE raids. So they have to do something about it. Because now it's touching like billionaires and stuff like that. Their companies are going down. So now Trump wants to do something about it, right? So yeah, they better do something about it. They better be going. So basically, that's what they're saying. Our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. So farmers have a legal option for hiring temporary seasonal labor with H-1B visa program, which allow employers to bring in yeah, so basically they're gonna address that. So like a type of reform for farm workers. Remember the one that when we're under Biden, they were trying to do some type of reform for farm workers and never worked out. So maybe they'll do it this time. They have the House, they have the Senate. I don't know. But yeah, because of those immigration crackdown, nobody want to go to work just to end up in detention center. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So they better do something. So that's what they're saying they're gonna do. What do I think about it? Like he was asking. Stop sharing. Okay. Stay. Okay. What do I think? What do I think about it? I think that they, they they're gonna do something about it. Okay. Because if nobody's going to work because of those ICE raids, the economy is gonna go down and everybody's gonna be upset. Now they're feeling it. So, they're going to do something. I think they're going to do something about it. Or maybe they're going to just slow down on, ICE raids in like where the farmers are working or in hotels, those type of industry. They're going to just not do the raids over there. I think that's what's going to happen. Hi, Luma, how are you? When do you think can ask for marching to file for wife? You just have to check online, right? When you go to processing time, you put if you scroll down, you you fill out the place you have to fill out, and then you put your receipt date. You click on it. It's gonna show you exactly when you have to, depending on where your I-130 went. It's gonna give you the exact date when to submit an inquiry. And even if you try to submit an inquiry, if it's outside of those dates, it's just not going to it's not going to go through. So you just have to put the information and then see what date it's going to give you, So let's see if we have another news. Sorry about that. I want to see, I saw some news on yeah. Anyway, if you have a question, please put it in the comment section, okay? Okay, USCIS initiates removal proceeding against 26,000 aliens since February. Let me start with this one first, okay? Okay. I think he stopped the waiting the work. Yeah, he better, because if people are not working, how people are going to be living? Like, they have to support people have to work. Like, you work, I work, people have to work. So they better stop those raids in workplaces, because nobody's gonna go to work and the economy is gonna collapse. So yeah, that's why people who own those companies went to him to talk to him about this immigration crackdown. It's not working. He needs to stop those things. Oh, last night Trump commented on mass deportation. Okay. Yeah, it's not going well. So okay. My husband from Nigeria will ban flag his U visa. Has aggravated felonies. Will the ban flag the U visa? If you're outside of if the ban gets here, right? Because the ban is like in talks, it's not official yet. If the ban gets here and you happen to be outside the country, pretty much you're not going to come in unless you have immediate relative like US citizen. Other than that, probably not. And if the person has aggravated felonies, I don't know how it's going to affect that. But the ban is pretty much for somebody who's outside. They're trying to get a visa. And the person who's inside the United States, let's say they're trying to renew a visa, you know, people who get here on visitor visa and they're trying to extend their visa, they're going to be banned as well from extending the visa. Remember at some point, H-1B visa, they said that renewal can be inside of the US. Those people too, if you come from that country, it's going to be banned as well. So that's how the ban works. But, you know, there's always an exception when it comes to immediate relative. And there's always an exception if there's a national interest benefit. For example, let's say you're working for the government and the government has a benefit that you work for them, like it's benefiting the government that you're working for them, then you're going to meet the exception. But if we're talking about aggravated felonies and we're talking about the person has to renew a visa inside or they have to get a visa from outside, yeah, the ban is going to affect them. On Truth Social. Okay. And what he said, he better stop those raids, especially in workplaces, because nobody's going to be going there to be placed in detention. Can you imagine the person goes to work and then they don't return because they are now in detention? No, that's not right. So yeah, you better just stop that. Because nobody's going to be like, if I know that I'm going to be detained just by going to work, I'm not going. I'm going to find something else. He's in Georgia. Samantha, to be honest, I don't know how it's going to affect. I guess maybe because of aggravated felony, if there's a waiver available for that, depending, because U visa, they have their own way of asking for a waiver. They don't fill out the form I-601. They fill out another form. I believe it's 61. I can't really remember the exact form, but there's a waiver. If you have some type of criminal activities that are waivable, you can file a waiver for it. But as far as the travel ban affecting that, I don't know. I really don't know how. So, but felonies might affect the approval of the visa unless there's a way to waive those felonies. No, I don't think so, because immediate relative, I don't think so. Oh, my phone is ringing. Let me hold on just a second. I need to get my phone. I need to take a phone call. Maybe it's an emergency. Okay. So yeah, immediate family, they have like a exception. Okay. Yeah, they have an exception. I don't think it's gonna affect them. We already talked about actually two news, right? We talked about the potential travel ban coming for 36 countries. We talked about Trump hinting on amnesty for farm workers and leisure workers, like, stopping ICE raids in workplaces. That's second news. And now I want to talk about the third news. Okay, let me share my screen. But if you have a question, just put it in the comment as we're just moving along. Answer question. I talk about the news. Just put it in the comment, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah. USCIS issues guidance regarding disclosure of the regulatory information. Okay. Basically, this is the guidance. USCIS states that if they plan to rely on the regulatory information that a benefit requester is unaware of, they will generally provide a detailed description of the regulatory information in a notice of intent to deny requests for evidence or notice of intent to revoke. So in other words, if USCIS find out that you provided false information, or like, just in other words, just misrepresentation, right? If they find out there's a misrepresentation during your immigration history or on your application, they're going to send you a notice of intent to deny, or request for evidence notice, or notice of intent to revoke. So basically, you have the opportunity to be heard before they deny the petition, which that's what they always do, right? They'll send you a request for evidence. They'll send you either notice of intent to deny if they intend to deny the application, or if they intend to revoke something that was already approved, they show you a notice of intent to revoke. And give you the opportunity to be heard in terms of you have to respond. Once you respond and they find that the evidence is not doesn't satisfy the requirement, then they will deny the petition. But at least you have the opportunity, to respond. Clarifies when we may not disclose information, such as information may be classified, sensitive, privileged, otherwise subject to statutory protection, to circumstances when the information. Okay, sometimes they might not request disclose if it's deemed classified, sensitive, or privileged, or is under protection due to statutory protection. Sometimes, when we file, like, let's say you file a FOI request, and you file the FOI request, and you think they're going to give you all the information. Let's say, for example, a clear example is when you were under somebody else's petition, like, let's say you were a child and your parent filed for asylum, and now you're 21, you want to file your own asylum, you request your FOIA. Just know they're not going to give you the information of your parent. They're just going to basically redact all information about your parent, and they're just going to give you where your name is, because it's a privilege and it's statutory protected. Okay, that's how it just works. But anyway, that's the third news. And then we have another news I wanted to talk about here. This one. Okay, USCIS initiates removal proceedings against 26,000 aliens since February. So what's going on is this: if ICE has jurisdiction over the case, usually it's under basically arriving alien, people who come to the border and they've been here for less than 2 years. People have been paroled under humanitarian reason and been here for less than 2 years. Usually those people cases are under ICE jurisdiction. So when you file an application for asylum, let's say with USCIS, it's just going to be sent to court, okay? Because USCIS does not have jurisdiction over your case. It's going to be sent to court. And let's say if you file an application that gets denied, it gets referred to court as well, okay? And that's why you see USCIS sending 26 cases to court. Like, people are receiving notice to appear, like a person who was paroled for humanitarian reason called me last week that they got a notice to appear. Why? Because again, USCIS does not have jurisdiction for their case uh, of asylum. That's why they got a notice to appear in court. Okay, but because they are having alien, again, if they get married, then USCIS will have jurisdiction over the case, even if they are in removal proceedings, provided that they never left the country or has never executed their removal order. So that's how it just works. So basically, this is just, it's not really, it's just like protocol procedures. That's what's happening. Okay. So what they're saying that since February 28th, USCIS has initiated removal proceeding against more than 26,700 aliens with no legal basis to remain in the country. This update has helped USCIS enforce existing immigration laws by once again issuing notice to appear to removable aliens in the United States. Yeah. USCIS basically acting like an enforcement agency at this point. But anyway, it's just basically that's how it works. So I don't think it's not really like major news. Okay. So yeah, what else we have here? Let's see if we can answer question. In order to achieve this, we must expand effort to detain. Basically, okay. But, you know, he said one thing and then acting differently. It's basically he's saying that, but when it comes to farmers, people are actually working in the agriculture sector. It's going to be hard because if you deport them, who's going to work and the economy is going to collapse. And yeah, they're just not going to do it. Trust me. Yeah, they're going to do it for other people, but for agriculture and farmers, agriculture workers, farmers, they're not going to do it. Yeah, it's going to be pick and choose. Trust me. Yes, it's very confusing. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Yeah. It's how do you call it? It's technique for people to get scared and self-deport, basically. That's the goal. Because if you really look at it, the government does not have all the money to deport all those people. Yeah, so pretty much so. What's Green Card's U visa-based processing looking like? First of all, when a U visa is approved, you're gonna have to wait on the line until the visa becomes available in order for you to file a green card. You basically go under the visa bulletin. That's where you check to find out when you're gonna apply for the visa or for the green card. So that's just how it works. So if the person files the petition for U visa first and wait for it to, it takes like forever anyway, almost 5 years for it to be approved. And once it's approved, you wait again for the visa to become available so that the person can apply for the green card. Yeah. So already applied. Yeah, now you just wait. If you already apply, you just wait. That's it, right? You wait. Either they're gonna call you for the interview or they're not. It just depends. Nowadays they're calling pretty much everybody. So you just wait now. If you already apply, you just wait now. That's it. Nothing to do. Okay. Nothing else to do. You just wait. How long? That I don't know. That's really, I don't know. Yeah. How long? Just look online. Look online or call USCIS yourself to find out, because really nobody knows with those applications taking forever. Some application takes like, yeah, taking forever. And taking your phone. Oh, that's nice. I'll keep this in mind. Once I have more phone calls, I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind. Okay. Who else? I guess yeah, that's it, right? For immigration news. Immigration news, as far as immigration news is concerned, I guess let's see, latest immigration news. I'm pretty sure we touched pretty much everything. Oh my gosh, Trump orders ICE to expand deportation of migrants, trying to say they have to deport 3,000 people. Yeah, that's like just like a show. Okay. Anybody, please, by the way, please like, please share. As we're talking, please like, please share. Anybody else? Anybody else has a question? Latest immigration news, you're just gonna have to go back because we pretty much talked about it. Anybody else has questions? Let me know. Let me see if I found another let's see if I found another news here. Oh yeah, last time somebody was asking me, let me share my screen. I don't know if the person still. TPS will be renewed. For what country? They already terminated TPS for Cameroon. They terminated TPS for Nepal. Uh, yeah, I don't think so. For what country? Let me try to share my screen here. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this. Okay, last time someone was asking about this question. Okay, USCIS reverse policy providing automatic consideration of deferred action for special immigrant juvenile, SIJ. You know, those application for special immigrant juvenile, it used to come with a deferred action. Simply means that once you get an approved petition, I-360 is approved based on SIG, you cannot be deported. That was the rule back. Now they're not doing it automatically anymore. Okay. Says that USCIS manual to eliminate automatic consideration of deferred action and related employment authorization. That's crazy. This guidance confirms that USCIS would no longer consider granting deferred action will on a case-to-case basis who are ineligible to apply for adjustment due to unavailable immigrant visa. Individual previously granted deferred action base will generally retain that deferred action and any work authorization. It used to be once I-36 is approved for special immigrant juvenile, you get once I-360 is approved for special immigrant juvenile, you get a work permit and you get a deferred actions, which simply states that you are not going to be deported until the day you get your green card. Even if you are not eligible for the green card or inadmissible for the green card, that deferred action protects you against deportation. And you have a work permit, you can work. But now they're saying they're not going to do it automatically. Yeah, so which is bad. Somebody was asking about it last time, which is really bad. That's really bad. Okay. That's we already know. Those other news we already know. Hi, Auntie Ahaba. How are you? How you feeling? Why the children will be removed? I don't understand. Usually when the mom is approved, it's followed to join, right? Because the mother is approved, they have minor children, follow to join, they come with the children. So I don't understand why they're saying the children be removed. Is this a new policy? If it's new policy, I'm not aware of that. So I don't understand that question. Let's see. I came on CHNV parole. Can I still apply for asylum? This is what's going on with asylum. Okay, let me tell you what's actually going on with asylum. If you apply for asylum today, okay, just know that you have to have a valid claim, first of all, because what's going to happen in 2 weeks, they're going to call you for the interview, okay? After 2 weeks, they call you for the result. Basically, they're going to they're going to do your asylum application within 30 days. That's number one. But because you came from parole, USCIS does not have jurisdiction over your case. What they're going to do, they're going to just, instead of even calling you for the interview, they're going to, especially if you haven't been here for more than 2 years, they're just going to refer your case to court, NTA. They're going to issue you the NTA. And once you go to court, if you cannot make a solid argument that you are not removable under expedited removal, you're going to be placed in automatic, which called expedited removal. And that's bad because there's no right for appeal. The case is not going to be heard by the judge. Only the officer will decide whether or not you're removable. And if you ask for credible fear interview, you might or might not get one because there's nobody's really controlling what's happening there. So those are the things you have to be aware of, okay, before you apply, so you can move faster, have proper guidance and stuff like that. It's not like back in the day when people apply to USCIS, it takes forever before USCIS even figure out who has jurisdiction. Within 2 weeks, you will know the fate of the case. So you have to be prepared how you're going to move if you place in removal proceedings, if the case is dismissed and you place in expedite removal, how you're going to move. Okay, you have to have all those cards laid out before you apply for asylum. Something you have to keep in mind. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. If it's a new policy, I didn't hear anything. I'm not aware of that. Okay. 2 years. Yeah, no, it's Sila, just the same thing, right? You really just have to have the entire plan out on how you're gonna move within 2 weeks, because it's gonna go that fast. You file with USCIS, USCIS is gonna determine whether they have jurisdiction, and they're gonna do it faster than before. And quite frankly, they don't, because you came with parole. They're just gonna send the case to court, and court is gonna dismiss it, talking about expedited removal. So you have to have a game plan, all that, figure out before you even apply. So you will know how to move quickly. Okay. Marriage based on green card, but I just filed for VAWA. Okay, so what is the question then? It's a son and a daughter. The son is complete, but the daughter final payment is not yet paid, but just awaiting interview date. You should follow up with NVC to figure out what's going on. Yeah, you need to follow up with NVC. There's a way to send email. So yeah, you just have to figure out what's going on. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, please like, please share. Please like, please share. Let me share my own screen because you're not sharing. Please like, please share. Let me share my own video. I don't feel like you're sharing. We got like 30 people in the house. I want to see 30 likes so I can continue. Please like, please share, okay? Please like, please share. Let's see. They're placing the mother into different category and they're removing the children, minor children. Yeah, you need to ask them why. Because usually, if you file for your child and the child has children, minor children, it's basically, you know, of course, everybody has to file their own D-260, but again, they're under follow to join. But I don't understand why they'll do that. You just have to communicate with them and figure out what's going on. I'm not aware of that, something like that. As of recent policy, I'm not. So you're gonna have to follow up with them and figure out what's going on. Okay. because I have someone who's coming from Nigeria to have an interview on this month actually. Yeah, so he is actually adult child of a U.S. citizen, and then he has wife and children. So they didn't remove the children or the wife. They're gonna come together. Everybody has their own D260 in the NVC. However, they basically, there's a principal, then there's follow to join. Yeah, so yeah, they have to clarify what's going on, okay? Because I'm not aware of such new policy. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? So we've been talking for 1 hour. So if you don't have any question, now we can, stop talking. Hi, Uri, how are you? Yeah, just follow up with them to see what's going on. Um, what's going on again? Okay. They didn't allow to pay for the daughter yet. Okay. Okay, so what is going on? We're done, right? Oh my gosh, we've been talking for almost 1 hour. If they didn't allow to pay for the daughter yet, do you know when they're gonna allow? Maybe you should call them to find out when. Probably when they're allowed to call for to pay for the daughter, then it's gonna show the tab where you have to, apply for to put everybody's name in the system and stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for coming. Please like, please share. Don't forget, if anybody need a consultation links are in the bio. Okay. Thank you very much. If you missed the news, you just watch from the beginning. The first 15 minutes we talked about all the news, and yeah. Okay. Until next time. Bye bye.